my name is Chef Lynn Tillyu, and welcome to the Peaks Kitchen. And today we're going to be making some blueberry crepes with a brandy blueberry sauce. First thing we're going to do is we're going to make our crepes. And don't be intimidated by crepes. There's only 4 basic ingredients. It's flour, eggs, milk, and some little bit of butter. And after the egg is broken up, then I'm just going to add my milk. This is 1 2/3 cups of milk. And then I'm going to stir that up. Now what I have here is I have 1 cup of flour and 1 tablespoon of sugar. And I'm going to put in a pinch of nutmeg. I really love nutmeg. And we're going to slowly pour the liquid into the well. And we're going to pull the flour off the side so we don't get any clumps. What I've got the liquid, and I'm slowly pulling in the flour off the sides. And the batter's going to get thicker and thicker. I don't have all my liquid in there yet because I want the batter to pull off that flour.
You ever use something like a blender to do this instead of mixing by hand?
Oh yeah, you can use a blender. Okay, what we want to do is we're going to add that right to it, and it's going to bubble up a little bit, but that's fine. And this is going to add flavor, and it's also going to make the crepes tender. And it should be a nice medium heat. And I'm going to pour my crepe batter in. And this is an ounce ladle, so I'm going to do about 1.5 ounces. And I'm going to stir my batter on the bottom of the pan so that I get the nice even batter. And once it stops moving around, then you put it back on the heat. And you're looking for it to dry over. There's a wet spot. Okay, once you see the edges start to brown a little bit, and then there's no more wet on the inside, you can flip it. Just get a spatula, flip it real quick. You got a really nice color on the bottom. Just give it 2 seconds to cook, and then I just pop it right out onto the counter. When I pop it out, I don't touch it because it's still very delicate. So I wait about a minute before I try to straighten it out and put it onto a plate or something. Okay, now swirl it around. See how you got all the bubbles there? That means your pan's a little too hot. Okay. So we're going to just make this one as a practice crepe. Right. And then by the time we get our next crepe made, we'll lower our temperature down, and then the crepe won't bubble like that. Okay. And we'll have a really nice crepe. Great. Okay, cool. My mother was a cake decorator. She did it in the house. Okay. And so I was constantly helping her with the cakes. And then when I was probably 12, I started my own chocolate business where I bake chocolate lollipops and candies and chocolate houses, and I'd sell them at my dad's firehouse, and I'd bring them to school every holiday, and I'd, come home making money, and I was like, okay, more chocolate. Right. Yeah. One Christmas I went through almost 300 pounds of chocolate myself. Wow. Just making chocolate.
Wow, wow, that's great.
I was able to buy a car when I was 16. Yeah. So now at this point in time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my blueberries. Okay, so now that it's boiling, it's got a very loose consistency. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to slowly pour this in as I'm stirring it. And as long as it comes right back to a boil, we can see how thick it's going to get. You see it tightening up? Yep. Once it boils, that's as thick as it's going to be, and that's a beautiful sauce for your crepes. And the crepe filling is really easy. What I did was I took in some cream cheese and I pre-softened it a little bit. And then we're going to add 1 egg and then 2 egg yolks. And we're going to stir that around. And we're going to incorporate the eggs into the cream cheese. The eggs are going to help the cream cheese bind when we bake the crepe. And then you also want to sweeten this up a little bit, so you're going to put in some powdered sugar. You don't want to use granulated sugar because it'll stay grainy. And all we're going to do is we're going to take a little bit of the filling and we're going to spoon it onto the crepe. Great. And then we're going to take the crepe and we're going to roll it up. And the crepe goes right onto a baking pan. And then we can pop it in the oven.